fall, everyone. Today is the first day of fall, a new season for us here in the Low Country and the entire Northern Hemisphere. I am so happy to be joined by astrologer and life coach, Kelley Rosano. She's joining us via Skype all the way from Boston. And Kelley, it's amazing. It's been a whole month and a day since we last spoke to you, because the last time we talked to you is right at the total solar eclipse time. So happy fall.
Happy fall. Happy Libra equinox.
Is that what it is? Okay, so how is this fall equinox going to be affecting the signs? We were talking about the solar eclipse and changes and things like that. Is the Libra eclipse going to be a little bit kinder to us?
That's a really good point that you've made. It's been really interesting this September. The feedback I'm getting from everyone, you know, it's been really challenging, you know, with the weather and just disruptions going on in our lives. The Libra equinox is happening today at 4:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So where you are, where I am, and in Washington, D.C., at 4:01 p.m., the sun enters the sign of Libra. And Libra is about balance. Balance within self, balance within life, balance within relationships, as well as Mother Nature. And we can feel that there is an imbalance going on in the weather and the extremes. And so, you know, there's a lot happening that can be intense at times or disruptive. And with the sun shifting into Libra, it does bring the focus for you to your life in the area of love. Libra rules love, it rules harmony, it rules beauty, and of course, relationships.
And relationships being so very important. I mean, relationships between each other, our loved ones, between countries. Of course, you're seeing so many things going on between the world and North Korea, for instance.
Yes. Yes, and it's really interesting because in this chart, the Libra equinox, 4:01 p.m. today, sun entering Libra, it's in the what we call the 8th house, and the 8th house has to do with health care, tax reform, job creation. The chart ruler is Saturn, and Saturn is in Sagittarius, which has to do with foreign affairs. It has to do with foreign countries. And as it's really interesting because the Saturn is at almost 22 degrees Sagittarius, exactly opposing President Trump's natal sun at 23 degrees Gemini. And so that is really important because it's showing, you know, how his rhetoric can really shape events and how important his rhetoric is in affecting our allies or those like North Korea, you know, and that those in authority may be rejecting some of the things that he's doing and you know, causing more problems for him as a result of this energy that he's working with. Saturn oppose his sun is challenging.
Right, and so when we come back, we need to take a break, but when we come back, I want to talk about how we can now create some sort of a balance, knowing what we've got, the push and pull within the cosmos. So we'll discuss that with Kelley Rosano, life coach and astrologer, coming up after the break. Fine. Welcome back. We've been talking to astrologer and life coach Kelley Rosano via Skype all the way from Boston, and you were just telling us about now we're entering the Libra equinox, and there's a push and a pull that's constantly happening within the cosmos, Kelley. And so when you start to see these shifts towards emphasizing politics and tax reform and healthcare, things like that, how do we mold that as a life coach? How would you mold that to make them positives for everybody?
Excellent. Yeah, I always use the astrology to empower and strengthen people. The astrology is like weather. In other words, there's a storm outside here right now. So you want to know that there's a storm so you can bring your umbrella, so you can bring your raincoat. You are the master of your destiny. The astrology is here to help you understand the energies you're working with. The equinox is a power day. This is a spiritual day. Before technology, we were all connected to nature. And we've become so dependent on technology that it's taken us away from our own instincts. And so here we have this opportunity to use this energy to ride the wave and achieve whatever your heart desire is. So it's about using the astrology in a way that brings you what you want and keeps you from getting into areas that you don't want to be in. And so, you know, if our politicians were wisely using astrologers, they would be more diplomatic and probably better suited to be passing a healthcare reform like they want to and tax reform like they want to, instead of this polarization that we're seeing with the energies that have been going on all year because of the Jupiter-Uranus opposition. And now we have the Venus in Virgo, which rules Libra, being opposed by Neptune, which means the devil is in the details. So it's not enough for people to say, well, I just want change, or politicians to say, well, we're just going to pass a new healthcare bill. But then when you look at the details, it's nebulous, it's disappointing. And so we want to use the energies to create balance within ourselves, balance within our lives, because things can only be out of balance for so long before something breaks.
And I'm glad that you mentioned politicians, because Ronald Reagan, Nancy Reagan, they used an astrologer. And how popular were they? They are sort of the benchmark for a lot of Americans.
Exactly.
As a good politician.
Exactly. And effective. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Kelley Rosano, thank you so much for joining us. If anybody wants any information, can you give us your website real quick?
Yeah, that's kelleyrosano.com. It's just as my name says. You can just Google Kelley Rosano. And you're also welcome to go to my YouTube channel, where I go into detail for all 12 signs for the equinox and how it affects them.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kelley. And we'll have that information on our website as well. We'll be right back.